get one of these tools, but that doesn't work. This isn't like your typical door handle that's got a clip in there that you pop out. A lot of cars you would just take that and go down in there. The way these Ford vans work, you have to take a screwdriver and pop it in one side here, and you'll feel it pop out, come in the other side and pop it out. Try not to break it, and it will look like that. Okay, then we're going to come in with our star bit to remove that handle. But at this point, I want to roll my window up before I take it all the way off. There we go. Get it up there. And this is another thing, at this point, if you're not happy where your handle's sitting when your window's all the way up, this is a good time you could readjust it to however you want. There is a retaining clip in there. Pay attention to it. It takes a T20 torque. Once you break it loose, you should be able to do it with finger tight. That's where a thumb ratchet would come in handy. Hard to hold a camera with one hand and okay. So that little groove there matches up there and goes flat against there. Like so. So it goes like that. And it's got a couple little nipples that stick out. Alright, to open this, looks like there's a little tiny hole right there. This just pops straight out. Open the door a little bit. Things I like about this tool, it's got a little piece of plastic to prevent you from marring your paint up too bad. And this just pops out, and it has this little clip right here. That's all that holds that in. And you're going to put it back just like that. That groove is going to go down and it's going to snap in there like that. Make sure that clip stays on there. And then we have and now we need a Phillips screwdriver. And then the panel, we need 2 Phillips screwdrivers. Okay, once you have the doorknob off, take that cover off, take that panel off, screw there and a screw there. Then what this whole thing should do, there's a bunch of little keepers that go straight down. So what you want to do is wiggle it back and forth, and the whole thing should come up in the air and pop right off. And I am hung up. And you want to watch your plastic. then we should be able to gain access to our door lock. So at this point, it's pretty doggone easy. There's our PAL under our Z-bar. Note which way it goes, so you don't do like I did on like that. Just gonna pull that. While you have this apart, I highly recommend you lubricate the track where the window goes. Spray some silicone in there and it will go so much smoother. And just like that. So we're going to pop her out. I can't hold the camera and do it at the same time, but that metal clip there, I'm just going to pull it straight back. Just going to pull that clip straight back. Pull that clip straight back and your lock will pop out, and then you take it off the Z-bar and replace it with the new one and put the O-ring on it and reassemble it like you took it apart. Put it all back together. It's pretty simple. It just, remember, it goes up, so you're going to raise it up. Make sure you get this rubber strip lined on that metal lip there. Put it down. The hardest thing is getting this lined up, but it shouldn't take you more than 5-10 minutes at the most to change the locks on a van. So then we got this piece here, and just hold that out, and it literally just snaps back into place. And these cars anymore go together like Legos. So the only thing holding that is this clip right here. And so you're going to push this down. Just like that. Snaps together just like Legos. And now we just put the door handle back on. Like I said, if you want to put it in a different place, this is the time. It has to have this little retaining piece. For it to go back on, and then put your screw in there. Okay. See, there's little holes or little grooves where you put a screwdriver to pop this out. So that's going to go there. Once you get your torque in there, tighten down. I just made that finger tight. I really don't think it needs to be super duper tight. And then you just take your cap, pop it back on, and make sure your lock works good. So there's only 2 screws. Just a screw there and a screw there is all that holds that door panel on. Okay, to do the back door, you need to pop these off with your upholstery removal tool. They're just your simple little clips, just like is in your interior. I got a bunch that are broken off, but you just want to pump these, pop the 8 of them, pop them off, take this panel off. Then you need to get you a nut driver that is 7mm and take 4 screws off this license plate holder, which is plastic, and that will gain us access to the clip that holds the door lock in, and just like that. Okay, once you get, because you can't hardly get your hand back in here, and this is blocking the access to pull this out completely. So right there is the lock. You got to pull this clip right here straight off, and then the lock will come out this way, and you turn it as you remove it. Take you a pair of lineman's pliers and come up from underneath without scratching the paint, and grab it like that and pull it out. There are two little nubs that lock into right here. So you want to pull this out like that, and at that point your lock is now going to be free to pop out, and then you're going to turn it to get it loose. Before you put your lock in there, you might want to make sure you have your indexing right, because I could barely get the key in there. It'll lock but not unlock. So that tells me that I've got the indexing off. So now I got to take it all back apart. Great. And rotate it. Okay guys, part of my problem with where this was sticking out was something's hit here and bent this metal really bad. So I took these screws out, stuck a pry bar in here, pried this out to pull this lip back, so the weather stripping now holds that in place, which looks good. I didn't index it wrong. What I did was I put that rod I had the rod on there backwards. So before you go to change this, take a good picture of it, or make a YouTube video or film it or something, so you see exactly how that rod goes in there. So it should go straight down like that. My key wasn't going easy, but now look at that. So my key wasn't going in easy, but look at it now. Just slides right in, unlock it, just like that, that easy. If you know what you're doing, it doesn't take 5 minutes. All you need is 4 bolts. I did unhook the license plate light here so I could pull this out a little bit easier. So when I got the vehicle, it didn't have keys, so I ordered these off eBay for 20 bucks. So this thing's like an armored car, and now that I got this working, we're going to unscrew this and take it off, so somebody can't just break the window and pry the thing up and get in here. Otherwise they can break the windows all they want, but unless they got bolt cutters, they ain't getting through this. It's just like an armored car basically. So and also notice it's got automatic door shutters. Look at that. So while we got this apart, this is a good time to grease this really good because it's making noise. Hear that? So we're going to grease it right there, and tomorrow we'll do the front doors, get us lock and keys on there so I can put all my equipment in here. This is the paw. That's what attaches to your Z rod that opens and closes the lock. Anyways, these Ford van lock cylinders, you can't change the tumblers. There's no way of getting it apart. But if you've never looked at the way a lock works, you see those tumblers, you'll see the way half of them pop up, the other half pop down, and that's what keeps this from turning. It keeps it locked. But when you put the key in there, it lines all the tumblers up, and that's when it can move. But with this, my Ford Bronco thing, cylinder, you just take a small screwdriver and you can push this off, and you can pull the tumblers off, and you can marry the tumblers to your key, whatever pattern that's on your key there. So you can take an existing keys and match it all up.